Good day, everyone. Welcome to today's session, where we embark on an insightful journey into the fascinating world of pearl farming. Pearl fishing has been practiced in India since ancient times, with marine pearl oysters serving as the primary source of these precious gems. While freshwater mollusks can also produce pearls, their quality is inferior, making them nearly worthless. Pearls have fascinated humanity for centuries, cherished for their delicate appearance and radiant shine. They have long been regarded as valuable ornamental objects, often adorning the crowns of emperors and queens, symbolizing wealth and power. Though the exact origin of pearls remains a mystery, historical records reveal their ancient significance. Chinese texts mention pearls as far back as 2300 BC, showcasing their enduring allure across cultures and eras. From the depths of the ocean to the heights of royalty, pearls have always been treasured as symbols of beauty and elegance. Pearl-producing oysters. The pearl oyster, known for producing exquisite pearls, belongs to the genus Pinctada, which is part of the family Treid, class Bivalvia, and phylum Mollusca. Within this genus, several species play a vital role in pearl production. Pinctada fucata is one of the most well-known species, prized for its high-quality pearls. Pinctada chemnitzi and Pinctada margaritifera are also important contributors, with the latter being renowned for its black lip pearls. Other species, such as Pinctada anomioides and Pinctada atropurpurea, add to the diversity within this fascinating genus. Together, these species highlight the biological marvels of the ocean and their role in creating one of nature's most treasured gems. Distribution of pearl oyster beds. Pearls have been treasured for centuries, with major production sites in the Persian Gulf, Gulf of Manaar, Ceylon, Sulawesi near the Philippines, Australia's coasts, and Central America. Recently, Japan has become the leading pearl producer due to advancements in pearl culture techniques, ensuring a sustainable supply of high-quality pearls globally. Pearl fisheries of India. India is home to pearl oyster beds along both its eastern and western coasts, but the eastern coast is more productive and extensive. Two key regions stand out for their pearl oyster populations. The first is the Gulf of Manaar, located between India and Sri Lanka, known for producing some of the finest quality true oriental pearls. The species Pinctada fucata is commonly found here, and the Gulf of Manaar boasts 72 productive beds. The second region is the Gulf of Kutch, on the western coast, which is home to around 42 pearl oyster reefs, locally known as caddis. These areas play a crucial role in India's pearl production, contributing to the country's rich maritime heritage. How pearl produced. Pearls are created by the pearl oyster as a natural defense mechanism. When a foreign object like a sand particle, a tiny larval form, or other irritants accidentally enters the oyster. To understand how pearls are formed, we must first explore the structure of the shell and mantle of the pearl oyster. The shell has 3 distinct layers, each with a unique role in pearl formation. Explaining the layers of the shell. 1. Periostracum, outer layer. The periostracum is the thin, translucent outermost layer with a greenish-brown hue. Made of an organic substance called conchiolin, this layer protects the shell from weak carbonic acid present in water. It is secreted by the mantle. 2. Prismatic layer, middle layer. The prismatic layer lies beneath the periostracum. Made of tiny crystals of calcium carbonate, this layer adds strength and rigidity to the shell, ensuring its durability. 3. Nacre layer, inner layer. The innermost layer, called the nacre layer or mother of pearl, is responsible for pearl formation. It comprises alternating layers of calcium carbonate and conchiolin. This layer protects the delicate surface, and is also secreted by the mantle. How pearls are formed. When a foreign body like a sand particle, or larval form enters the space between the mantle and shell, it becomes enclosed in a sac formed by the mantle epithelium. This irritant stimulates the mantle to secrete concentric layers of nacre around it. Over time, these layers harden into a pearl. Pearl characteristics. The size of the pearl depends on the degree of irritation caused by the foreign body, and it takes about 3 to 5 years to form a pearl of average size. Pearls are composed of approximately 90% calcium carbonate, 5% organic substances, and 5% water. Natural pearls rarely form perfect spheres and take the shape of the nucleus. Their value depends on size, shape, color, and luster. Biology of pearl oyster. Pearl oysters are remarkable creatures, not just for their pearls, but for their unique life cycle and feeding habits. Breeding and larvae. Oysters breed multiple times in succession. Their larvae are free-swimming, feeding on microscopic organisms in the water. During this stage, they undergo metamorphosis, transforming into their adult form. Settlement and growth. Once fully developed, the larvae settle at the bottom of the ocean in large groups. The young oysters grow rapidly, reaching about 50 millimeters in size within a year. Feeding habits. Pearl oysters feed on tiny algae found in the water column. They filter large amounts of water to extract their food, playing an important role in the aquatic ecosystem. Formation of pearl. Let's take a closer look at this fascinating natural process of pearl formation inside an oyster. The role of a foreign particle. When a small foreign particle, like a grain of sand, a hard object, or even a tiny parasite, penetrates the mantle of the oyster, the cells of the mantle attached to it. This foreign particle becomes the nucleus of the pearl. Formation of layers. Over time, the mantle secretes concentric layers of a smooth, lustrous substance called mother of pearl around the nucleus, gradually building up the pearl. Formation within a sac. If the particle penetrates deeply, the mantle forms a protective sac or cyst around it. Pearl formation takes place within this sac as the layers are continuously secreted. Growth of the pearl. With more secretion over time, the pearl grows in size, eventually becoming the beautiful gem we admire. Process of pearl culture. Pearl culture is a fascinating process that transforms nature's beauty into precious gems. Let's explore the step-by-step journey of cultured pearl production. Step 1. Construction of a pearl farm. First, a suitable farm site is chosen with constant temperature, shallow waters, and protection from waves. Wooden rafts, measuring 5x5 meters, are anchored in the water, and ropes are hung from these rafts to support the oysters. Step 2. Collecting oysters. Divers collect oysters from flat rock bottoms on the sea floor. The shells are cleaned, sized, and stored in baskets. Alternatively, larvae of oysters, called spat, can also be collected and grown for 2 years until they are ready for seeding. Step 3. Seeding. Healthy, 2 to 3-year-old oysters undergo a surgical process called seeding. A donor oyster provides a piece of its mantle, which is implanted along with the nucleus, such as a sand or glass particle, into the host oyster. This provokes the oyster to coat the nucleus with layers of nacre, forming a pearl. After implantation, X-rays confirm whether the oysters have accepted the nucleus. Successful oysters are transferred to the pearl farm. Step 4. Caring for the oysters. The grafted oysters are placed in baskets or ropes attached to the floating rafts. With proper care, an oyster can produce more than one pearl in its lifetime. Step 5. Harvesting pearls. After 2-3 years, the oysters are harvested. A trial harvest determines whether the pearls have sufficient coating. If not, the oysters are returned to the water for an additional 6 months to a year. Finally, the pearls are extracted by carefully cutting the pearl bags. Step 6. Sorting pearls. The harvested pearls are sorted based on their size, color, and luster. These beautiful gems are then ready to be marketed.